I couldn't believe my luck when I walked into the restaurant. The ambiance was perfect. Soft lighting, soothing music, and a warm, welcoming atmosphere. It was the kind of place that made you feel like you were in for a treat. The server greeted me with a smile that felt like genuine kindness, and I was ready to indulge in what I hoped would be a fantastic meal. But from the first bite, I knew something was off. The food was bland, overcooked, and nothing like the mouth-watering description on the menu. Each dish was more disappointing than the last. But the server, bless her heart, was a ray of sunshine. She checked on me frequently, refilled my drink without being asked, and even brought a complimentary dessert to make up for the lackluster meal. Despite the terrible food, I couldn't help but admire her dedication. She was clearly working hard to ensure I had a good experience, even though the kitchen was letting her down. But as the bill arrived, I felt a knot forming in my stomach. How could I justify leaving a generous tip when the meal had been so awful? But then again, how could I not reward her effort and kindness? I glanced around the restaurant, noticing a few other diners who seemed less than impressed with their meals. A couple at the next table whispered to each other, clearly unhappy with the food but still exchanging smiles with their server. It was clear I wasn't alone in my predicament. As I reached for my wallet, something unexpected happened. The manager appeared at my table, apologizing profusely for the subpar meal. He explained that the chef had been dealing with personal issues and that tonight wasn't reflective of their usual standards. He offered to comp the meal entirely, which only made my dilemma worse. Now with the meal free, I was left with an even bigger question. How much should I tip for a meal I didn't even have to pay for? But then came the twist. The server returned with a handwritten note, discreetly placed next to my drink. I opened it, expecting a simple thank you or perhaps an apology. Instead, the note read, "Thank you for understanding. I know the food was terrible tonight, but it means a lot that you didn't make a fuss. It's been a rough day for all of us." I was stunned. She knew. She knew the food was bad, yet she had carried on with a smile, doing her best to make the night bearable for everyone. It was in that moment I realized that this wasn't just about tipping. It was about compassion, empathy, and recognizing the human element behind the service industry. Here's where the lesson lies. Sometimes we forget that behind every bad meal, there are real people doing their best in challenging circumstances. This story isn't just about tipping. It's about understanding the complex dynamics of service and the value of kindness in difficult situations. While the food may have been bad, the service reflected a commitment to making the best out of a bad situation. It's a powerful reminder that our actions, even something as small as leaving a tip, can have a significant impact on someone's day. So here's my dilemma. Do I leave a tip to reward the excellent service, even though the meal was terrible and the restaurant comped it? Or do I walk away, knowing that I didn't enjoy the meal and technically owe nothing? What would you do in my shoes? Tip generously for the service, or let the bad food outweigh the good intentions?